Hello and welcome back to some Higurashi. Another great day for recording. I've been a little lazy, um, so I might actually do a double feature tonight. Record this, and like take a shower, then record the next sesh right away. Just because I've been a little slow on recording, but good thing it's Higurashi, because that should always be fun. But yeah, I'm doing good. Oh, I gotta give a shout out to this game, which isn't actually new, but I just found it out yesterday and I've been like so addicted to it. Called AI Dungeon, which is basically like, well, I use the website. I think there's an app where it's like a AI is basically, it's basically like a text-based role-playing game with like the AI being the storyteller, and you like make decisions and stuff, and it's all random and stuff, and it's so much fun. And I'm like pretty bad at it because I don't know all the controls, so sometimes it's super janky. But I just had like a really cool fantasy mission that was like long, like very long, like a bunch of hours. Well, not hours, but like I don't know how to measure the timing because I like come back and then go back. But it was a fun adventure, and I'm like super into it. So I gotta give it a shout out. It's really fun if you're enjoy text-based imaginative games with a lot of customization too. Like I just learned about like the new customization stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make a zombie apocalypse world and play as Satoshi looking for with the quest to find his missing sister Satoko and just bash some zombies with a metal bat. But then I got lazy, but eventually I'll do that. It's just super fun. I really enjoy it. It's been spending way too much of my time. It has an energy charger, and I'm just like literally waiting like after every hour to make like a couple moves. But yeah, great game. Gotta shout it out. But that's about it for non my life. What happened in Higurashi last time? We received news that the Child Consultation Center has put the request on hold, which is what we expected. But luckily, Keiichi's parents gave Keiichi a good idea to appeal the decision. Basically, going there and like, hey, we heard you decided to put it on hold. How about we convince you that this is way more urgent than you think it is? And we're there with the gang. Shion has stopped being potentially crazy and has joined our cause. And hopefully she'll stay that way. But if he fails, she might just go back to being bloodthirsty. And even though Rita doesn't seem too excited, she's at least entertaining the idea. So let's just get right into this, shall we? Right now we are in the consultation center in the library. New tech, new scene. I mean, it's looking nice. But let's go. Dial in.
あそこにいるのは一般事務員だよ。私たちはちゃんと話すべき相手と話さなきゃならないんだからさ。
Okay.
待たされるということは、世の中にはこういう相談事が多いのかな?
You feel like I mean, obviously it happens everywhere, but you feel like it wouldn't be like that busy in like Okinomiya of all places, like a little rural town, obviously bigger than Hinamizawa, but could be wrong. Obviously it probably takes a lot of time.
どうなんだろうね。
I'm always out of my depth when talking about this.
考えてみれば、ここの職員が暇そうでちょうどいい気がしてくるよ。
Yeah, I know, like, sure there's other kids, but you know, Satoko is literally a god. She will literally save the world one day if you keep her safe.
虐待の相談が繁盛しているようでは、世も末なのです。
Hey, Rita's back to her normal voice. She was just not caring for the past couple of chapters and using her other voice. After 30 minutes, they finally called my name. I wrote down my name at the registration as Mion can't let them know she's from the Sonosaki family.
今呼ばれた前原ですけど。
I went to the receptionist to find a uniformed older lady. She must be one of the office workers Mion mentioned. Was she really going to be the one dealing with us?
前原さん。
She sounds pretty young. I was envisioning like a much older lady.
本日は5人でいらっしゃってますが、どういうご相談でしょうか。
Kind of sounds like Chia's voice a little bit. The only thing I wrote on the registration was that I wanted to talk about Satoto Hojo.
昨日ひなみ沢文庫の千恵先生から通報があった北条佐藤
Alright,
の
let's see how this goes. I feel like there is big potential for someone like Shion just randomly freaking out, but I'm actually like, I don't think it's impossible for this not to work. Because I feel like the Tepe situation, while it's bad, there's also the fact that there is a mastermind, and the mastermind reveal is supposed to be this arc. So the Tepe situation just can't, it can't really like take over the whole arc, right? So eventually we'll deal with it. So this might, I wouldn't be like, I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, shocked if we actually manage to speed up the process here.
それでちょっとお話ししたいことがありまして。
前原さんと皆さんは北条聡子さんのお友達ですか。
はい、クラスメートです。
お話の内容ですが、概要をお聞かせいただいてもよろしいですか。
実は北条聡子の件なんですけど、虐待はなくて様子見みたいな話になったと聞きました。
I don't know why this is making me so tense. It's weird. It's a tense situation, and it's pretty awkward too.
それで聡子の状況についてもう少し詳しく説明がしたいと思いまして。
The teacher's being super professional about it.
わかりました。もうしばらくお待ちください。
That was it from her then. A real social worker should be coming here to talk with us. Nailed it. She was just asking us for basic information. Gotta write down on the form, you know, give it to the worker before we talk to them. With that done, she was talking on the phone and explaining to someone what I just told her.
何を聞かれたの？
I mean, I don't expect it, but imagine it being someone we actually know. But like, that makes like no sense. It was really Oishi, and he was talk blocking the operation the whole time as part of the mastermind. No, I don't believe that. I'm
今日は
joking.
何のご用事ですかって聞かれたぜ。
It actually made zero sense if it's someone we know, unless it's like a super minor character. Like, what if it's that baseball player's father or something? Mr. Sweet Aholic Komeda? I don't even remember his name.
もうちょい待たされるのかな。
That's how minor he is.
こういう無意味な待ち時間ってイ
Shion,
ラつきます。
it's too early to get mad. Put some relaxation. We don't want to fight with the officer. I feel like we want to appear calm but worried, not aggressive. Because, like, that might just peeve him off, you know?
ミーはさっきからポスターとかチラシばかり読んでいますが、楽しいですか？
生活上の問題を見たり聞いたりしたらご通報くださいなんてのがいっぱいあるよ。
And this is the first, I'm pretty sure this is the first time Rita's been here, right? I mean, they've never been here in, like, the actual year when she's traveling, but I doubt she'd, like, visit here previously for, like, no reason. I mean, maybe she did. Actually, it kind of made sense that she did. But I don't know. It's new tech, at least, for everyone to be coming, I think.
だから私たちみたいなのが来ても決してお門違いってわけじゃなさそうだね。
虐待の芽を摘む地域みんなの芽だって。
Hey, that's what we're doing.
こ れって川柳なのかな
Good one,
言
Renna.
われてみればそういう啓発ポスターがいっぱい貼ってあるな。
Little repetition there.
さすが児童相談所だぜ。
Oh,
内側に貼ってもあまり意味がないと思いますです。
Rita Chen was right. They should be posted them all over the city, not just the inside of the building. It's a good point, but like that also costs money to post stuff, advertisements and stuff. I mean it's government funded, right? But I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I've seen. It's been so long since I've been on a transit bus, but I do remember seeing like cyberbullying ads and stuff. So I probably have seen it, but it's just not that common. But it's a good point to have them around, because if you're coming here, then you're already reporting abuse or like asking about it. You need to reach the people who are unsure.
前原様、大変お待たせしました。
She hit us with the sama. You know it's real.
2番の相談室へお入りください。
Okay. Is this a one-on-one? Can we have the group here? We need some backup.
お、呼ばれたぜ。
Thank God. Okay.
行こう行こ
It's winnable. As we walked, we soon saw a room numbered 1 through 3.
う。へえ。
Bunch of
銀行
lockers.
みたいにカウンター越しに普通に話すのかと思ってたぜ。個室になってるのか。
I mean, in the banks, to be honest, when you actually have something serious or semi-important to talk about, it's like personal, they actually do usually bring you to rooms. I think at least for my bank, TD Bank, I think that's Toronto Domain Bank. Though I know there's a TD in the USA, and I do not know if they're the same thing. But I think they're different, because I know mine definitely stands for Toronto something bank. It's a good bank. It's probably like the fastest growing bank out of the major banks in Canada. It's also green color themed, like everything's green, and it's a good aesthetic, you know. Gotta give them points for the style. But no, I've had good experiences there so far. Not that I go a lot, but yeah.
多分プライバシー保護のためだね。相談する内容はほとんどの場合、あまり人に聞かれたくない内容だと思うから。
And I mean, for this place, definitely privacy is. Don't want to talk about abuse situations in through the counter, right?
そういう家庭内のトラブルを囲んで見えなくしてしまう土壌がきっと児童虐待を助長してしまうんだろうね。
And obviously, just a friendly reminder to everyone watching that the author used to work in this field as before he became an author, or like during it in his early days. So obviously, this is like his critique slash it is probably like a lot more realistic slash knowledgeable than maybe other depictions. Though I haven't really seen any. Well, it's not true. I definitely have seen a drama about, or two dramas about that have this child abuse theme, but yeah, this should be a pretty detailed and knowledgeable take on the situation. I mean, you should know, because this is like a big theme. And I know it always bugs me of how I was kind of getting mad about being lectured into Higurashi. It's not just because the author was lecturing me, but like everyone was lecturing me. Like not the comments, the characters, but no, it's fun to absorb. But yeah, that's why there's such a heavy focus in like half the arts on the subject. I don't mind it. I think it's interesting and good. But yeah. The Higurashi thing was an isolated incident. Don't hold me up to that.
家庭問題は見て見ぬふりをするのが美徳っぽいとこって確かにありますね。
True. Room number 2. That's why it feels like we've been like getting a crash course on the Japanese child abuse system recently. If you've been wondering, it does feel kind of distinct and not like it doesn't flow as well as everything in the story, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's good an author's passionate about something, because this is definitely a passionate thing. The author, a passionate topic for the author that he enjoys, not enjoys, but really wants to write about, as you can see, because it is. It's definitely like detailed in a way that doesn't flow, but it paints a good picture, if that made sense. I don't know if that made sense, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. As or not, I heard the voice of a man telling me to come in.
失礼します。
Was it? It's Yurie. It was a lawn con the whole time. No, okay. It was a very small room. Well, I should say it was narrow. It wasn't wide, but it was very long. Like, this building is probably, like, very realistic to what a child consultation center looks like in Japan. For example, there's a counter in the middle which split the room into two. The man was sitting on the other side of the counter. He told us to take a seat, but there was only 2 chairs. I sat down since we registered under my name. Put Rita in the next seat. I feel like she's the best witness testimony, to be honest. Mian wouldn't sit because she felt that the Sonozaki sisters shouldn't be in the front. Rena tried to offer the seat to Rita-chan, but she refused to, so Rena ended up taking it. Well, we got Rena. That's alright, she's a great talker. It was such a tiny room that it was better for us to take a seat. It was very cramped with the 5 of us.
申し訳ございませんね。
This is not a man? Did I read it was a man? It is a man?
普通はご両親が2人でお見えになることが多いので。
Okay, I guess this is a mistake. A mistake on voice actors, obviously. So they gave Mr. Counselor a woman's voice. It's unlucky, Mr. Counselor, but we probably won't be seeing you after this, so bear with it. I'm sorry for being janky. Though obviously if this was a scene in the anime, I'm sure they would give him an actual voice that suits him. That's actually kind of funny. It's not even a writing mistake, it's just a voice actor mistake. I understand that.
それで今日はどういったご相談でしょうか。
Unless that's supposed to be a man. But no, that's too much of a meme.
俺が代表で喋っていいのか。
Alright, let's test ourselves. Let's see if Xian won't get mad. Let's see if I won't get mad. I feel like we're gonna get... I feel like it's possible, but I also... It can go either way, honestly. We need to take a taste of this conversation first before I can really decide which way it's going.
俺たちは木南沢文庫に通ってるもので、北条聡子の友人です。昨日学校から通報があって、相談所の人が聡子のところへ行ったと思います。ただそこで緊急性がないと判断されて様子見になったと聞き、相談所の方が事態をよく把握されてないんじゃないかと思って、その辺の説明に参りました。
Mian nodded. It seemed like I was doing okay so far. No, you're doing great. It sounds very good. What? You changed! Am I memeing? Oh, it's a we. Wait. Yeah, it's a we. Okay. It's a man and a woman. It's okay. It's my fault, but also they didn't describe the woman. They only described the man entering. So it's actually a duo. Man, that's embarrassing. I've embarrassed myself once again. You got me. You got me. Whatever. Okay, let's see how this goes now. We're up against 2 people. That might be hard, but also, if you can convince one, the other one might also be convinced easily, so let's see.
ですね、確かに聡子はおじに連れ去られてから まだ2日しか経ってませんが、ひどい乱暴をされるのは時間の問題なんです。実際去年の時にもおじは聡子をひどくいじめていたんです。そういういじめが行われるのは時間の問題だと思います。だからそうなる前に聡子をおじの元から救い出してほしいんです。
Yeah, follow your posters.
でも聞くところによれば相談所は様子見ってことになったそうじゃないですか。
Bro, I mean, actually, Keiichi is like so good at talking. I'm getting hopeful, but I mean, this guy's obviously gonna like reject it right now, but I'm hopeful.
様子見なんて聡子を見殺しにするつもりですか？
Shion, no, shut up.
聡子が虐待を受けていないから助けなくていいなんてよく言えますね。
Shion, you're ruining the mood.
虐待を受けたらその傷は誰が責任を取ってくれるんです？
It's ruined. We're doomed. Shion probably didn't know how politely I was speaking to him. She was already flaring up with rage at the social worker. He didn't even say anything, Shion. It looked like Mion didn't want her to tear into him. I don't want you to tear into him. This is a delicate operation. Who knows? What if they're just like, oh, these kids are annoying. We won't listen to them. You gotta tread lightly. However, she let Shion finish as she'd get even more fierce if he tried to stop her. The man seemed to be used to people losing their tempers, and he continued without reacting to Shion's outburst.
まず誤解を解いておきたいと思いますけど、北条さんの件は現在対応中です。
Nerves of steel.
見殺しとか放置とかそういうわけではないんですよ。
Working on her case. They're not abandoning her. They're currently reviewing options, I suppose. I know it's urgent, but like on the other side, I like I said before, I actually do understand that there are procedures. They might not be the best procedures, but what can they do? They can't just break it. While their mature phrasing made me start to think it might be rude and harsh to say that they were abandoning her, Rena quietly opened her mouth. Hit it, Rena. What did I?
昨日の時点では何もせずに帰られてますよね。
No one can ever fool Rena. Taking their time to review options was the exact same thing as abandoning her. It's true in a sense, I guess, if it's urgent like Satoko's cases. The fact is, they left her in that house without taking any action to prevent her from being abused.
昨夜は相談所の者が直接お伺いし、ご事情を伺わせていただきました。
You gotta blame the worker, dude. How can you like not get bad vibes after seeing Tepe and thinking, hey, this is alright? It's just that I'm gonna put that on them, dude. How can you? He just radiates a bad aura, you know?
それ以上のことはプライバシーがありますのでお話しできませんが、決して見殺しなんてことはありません。北条さん親子が健全な生活を送れるよう引き続き指導していくつもりです。
I actually think there's only one person, and I was actually right about the female voice being weird, and he's just talking as a we, as an Actually, I don't know. It's confusing me. Never mind, I do think there's just two people. It's just kind of weird.
何言ってんです？誰が親子ですか？
Oh no, Shion.
おじとめいです。本当に事態を把握してんですか？
Couldn't like here's some tech, and it's kind of too late, but couldn't like the Sonozakis like take Tepe's criminal record and they can like submit it to the center? I feel like that would be a really good strat. Like if he's just done, because he's definitely wanted by the police, right? So if he's done all this bad stuff, you feel like it would definitely qualify him for or disqualifying him for being a safe guardian.
失礼しました。おじとめいですね。訂正します。とにかく親権者と児童が健全な関係を結べるよう指導中です。
Good luck, dude. As it was commented, I don't think the Tepe redemption arc is happening anytime soon. I said it would be pretty funny if Tepe comes, then reaches a word, and then it just turns out Tepe is like turned a whole new leaf and is like a nice guy now. After Rina dies, he realized he was wrong this whole time and is trying to live an honest life. I believed in that tepe, but as we saw, it is sadly not a real thing. Sorry, tepe fans. You have to wait until Nets start, I guess, for the Nets' possible redemption. Shion had pounced on his mistake immediately. I didn't think she needed to be so snappy, but at this point I was starting to understand how different their sense of urgency was from ours.
いや、聡子は普通に生活してきたんですよ。
This one's a
お
zinger.
じなんかの助けもなく。第一、おじはそれまで1年間どっかへ蒸発していて、いきなり帰ってきて聡子をさらったんですよ。
Keiichi's actually doing the best, I think, in this conversation. Go Keiichi.
それって誘拐じゃないんですか？
誘拐というのは言い過ぎですね。子は親権者の定めるところに住まなければならないと定められています。民法の第821条で親権者はこの
Are you not trying to comment on the fact that he left her for a year?
1年間も聡子をほったらかしてたんですよ。
1, 2.
なんであんな奴が親権者なんて言えるんです
It's a
か？
Tate team.
そりゃしよん。聡子の両親が2年目のたたりで死んだ時、ちゃんとそういうことになってるんだよ。
I mean, I agree. I'll still say that's like the weirdest part, that he's still considered a guardian after abandoning her for a year.
そうなのか？あんなやつでも親権者なんて名乗れるのか？
But maybe that's just how it works everywhere. It probably is how it works in Canada. It just seems a little silly to me. There should be like some restrictions that if the legal guardian breaks like a rule or something, he can be disqualified.
民法の何条だかは知らないけど、未成年者は親権に服さないといけないと決められてる。つまり子である限り誰にでも親権者はいるんだよ。いや、いないといけないんだよ。
それは民法の第818条ですね。
Ah, thanks, Mr. Citation Man.
それってのはつまり聡子の両親が亡くなった時に自動的に
Listen,
お帳
buddy,
場の
your
夫婦に
citations
外
aren't
する
gonna
ものなの
win
か？
you this argument, alright? I know people who like to pull out the citations on me when I'm talking to them. I'm just like, yeah, that's interesting, but I don't care. I mean, it depends on the topic, but I don't really think it matters to. I mean, it matters for clarifying why he's the guardian, but it doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things in this conversation.
基本的には近い親族に決まる。聡子にはおじ夫婦しか親類がいないようだったからね。もちろん聡子たちが望めば他の人が親権者になることもあったかもしれないけど。
Well, it's not like they could refuse them at like such a young age.
ダム戦争の直後のひなみ沢で憎き北条家の子供ですから。引き取り手なんて現れるわけないじゃないですか。
It's a great point. Though you feel like, no, I mean that's a great point. I don't know. We don't really know the history between Rita and Satoto. Like, were they friends back then, or was that more of a recent thing?
引き手あまたであっさり君吉のおじいちゃんが後見人になってくれたリカちゃまとは事情が違うんです。
I actually didn't remember. They might have said it, that Kimiyoshi was her legal guardian. I knew that the Hojo family was in favor of the dam project, and the whole village hated her family for that reason. But I thought everything was over after they canceled the project and Satoto's parents died. Was I aware of the difference? The difference between how the villagers treat Satoto and how they treat Rita-chan. The villagers don't abuse Satoto like her uncle. But maybe there were small thorns left in the village and they were stinging Satoto occasionally. I don't think we've ever seen any of the villagers really being mean to Satoto. But it's not like we've really seen Satoto without Rita with her.
大きい声じゃ言えないけど、おじ夫婦より聡子の一家の方が財産は持ってたと思う。親権者になれば、この財産管理権ができるからね。
It's definitely used up by now, right? Except for like, actually, they don't even live in the house. They live in their own, the aunt's house, I think.
だからおじ夫婦はあの後、
Never mind. Apparently they do live in Satoto's home. I thought they didn't. I thought Satoto and Satoshi moved into the uncle and aunt's home, but never mind.
あいつらの本当の家知ってる？めちゃくちゃ小さくて狭いんだよ。
なんだか嫌な話だ
Hey,
ね。
don't diss tiny places. When I live by myself, well, when I move out, I'll probably buy a tiny place unless I'm living with someone. I don't need much. I'm a simple man.
でも親権者が1年間もさとこちゃんを放置してたんでしょ？
Answer me this. This is my question that's been bugging me for a while.
それって親権者って言えるの？どうなんですか？
Double tap.
そうですね。民法の4編4章に親権の喪失についての定めというのがあります。
Okay. Hit me with it. The man opened a thick book on the counter and showed us that page. I didn't completely understand what it says on there, but it seemed that a parent can lose custody when they're being irresponsible.
つまり親の資格というのは取り消せるものなんだね。
待て待て、裁判所がどうとか書いてあるぞ。何？
家庭裁判所はこの親族または検察官の請求によってその親権の喪失を宣告することができる。何ですかこれ？あんなやつの親権を奪うのにのんびりと家庭裁判所の判断を待たなきゃならないんですか？
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that's how it should be. But in an urgent case of, put an aid and revision on the law, I definitely am qualified to make laws for foreign countries. I would say in the emergency of the guardian being abusive to the child, they should temporarily have their guardianship revoked until the issue is investigated properly. There you go. That's put a band-aid on that law. That's how you fix a law, guys. If you know any lawmakers, feel free to give them my YouTube channel.
そんな悠長な。
いえいえ、本当にそのようなことがあった場合には、児童の安全のため緊急の一時保護をすることもあります。
It's kind of like what I said, but less dire.
もちろんその場合も家裁の許可が必要ですが。
Oh, okay.
その834条の親権喪失に北条哲平は該当しないんですか？親権者である北条哲平は1年間育児
Is that a
放
law?
棄していた事実。
Oh, please be a law, because that sounds perfect for a law.
それを相談所ではどうお考えですか？
それはプライバシーがありますのでお答えできませんが、もちろんその点について。
Okay, so it's actually a law if they neglect them for over a year. Good. That should be a law. It's stupid if it wasn't.
でその説明に納得したんで様子見ってことになったわけですか？
Renna's cheesed. Everyone's cheesed but Keiichi. Hold it together, Keiichi.
ですから先ほども申しましたように現在
I think that we're pressuring him pretty well, but I think I don't know if pressuring him is actually gonna work to our favor, unless we hit him really back him into a corner, then maybe. But in general, I thought I don't know. Whatever. Let's just roll with it. Screw it. Whatever works works.
児童の身柄ももちろん第一に考えますし、児童が健全な家族環境の中で暮らしていけるよう慎重に対応するつもりです。
It's a great professional statement. Hit all those keywords. We weren't on the same page at all. They just weren't understanding the urgency. I've never met this Teppei guy. Oh, you have. I only know what the situation based on what my friends told me about last year and what Chia Sensei told us. But I still understood very well. I understood that something really bad was going to happen if we didn't take any action right now.
だいたい去年だっておじおば揃っていじめてたんですよ。そんなおじのところに預けてても大丈夫なんですか？その時のことが記録に残ってるはずですよね。
Don't bring up the records from last year.
過去の件についてはプライバシーでお答えできませんが、もちろん総合的に判断した上で対応しております。
昨日も投稿してこないし、今日も投稿してきませんでした。
Yeah, her uncle. Oh, the such excuse. Never mind.
確かに 学校には風邪だと連絡があったそうですが、おじに連れて行かれてから一度も学校に来てないなんておかしくありません
We're
か？
throwing zingers. We'll see how long he can keep up his professional guard.
そうですね。ただ風邪で2日休むこともないとは言えません。
Dude, it would be so easy just to take like pictures, but I don't think that's an option.
もう少し様子を見てもいいんではないかと思います。
とにかく聡子がおじのところにいたいわけがないんですよ。おじに無理やり監禁されているんです。
No, that's not true. Kind of. It's like half true.
もちろん当方の職員が直接児童に聞き取りも行い、その上で判断しております。
That wasn't a zinger Mion. That was a haymaker that whiffed a bit.
結局あれですか？聡子の過去の嘘通報が未だ尾を引いてるってわけですか？
過去の件はプライバシーでお答えできません。児童のために総合的に判断しています。
Well, I don't know if we're actually gonna break this guard, huh? It's pretty strong.
聡子のやつ、兄のサトシに変に義理立てして虐待されててもされてないって言うと思うんですよ。
This also feels kind of odd. This feels like it almost feels like what the it really like puts you into the scene. It's like saying a bunch of excuses that like all the excuses or not excuses, all the arguments you can make against the child consultation center guy. Like I feel like I thought about a bunch of these in my head too. It feels like they're just throwing all the things like the reader's thinking of, which is kind of cool. Kind of like unimmersive, but kind of cool at the same time. It's like a nice trade-off. I kind of liked it though.
だから聡子が虐待はないって言っても鵜呑みにしないでください。
打ちのめされた人間には助けを求める気力もないってことわかりますよね？
あ、もうしのごの言わずに聡子を早く助け出してください。聡子に何かあったら絶対許さないですから。私が真摯の対応しているうちに何とかしないと大変なことになるよ。
We're bringing up the violence.
よしなよしよん。心象を悪くするだけだよ。
相談所の人が言った時、おじがどういう態度をしたのかわかりません
He
が、
threatened the
とにか
teacher.
くあいつは乱暴なやつなんです。
I feel like even though this guy isn't allowed to say stuff, there is like a lot of evidence. I feel like maybe not of the abuse itself, but like the teacher claims that he was being rude and threatful to her. His reputation around the city, you know. If Akasaka was here, we could probably like get him to nudge Oishi to like also vouch for us, which could happen at the end. But I don't even think this. I mean, it could work. Actually, yeah, they can take Satoko into custody, so I guess it would work in a way. But yeah, I don't know.
騙されないでください。今日はそれを伝えたくて来たんです。
だからどうか一刻も早く聡子ちゃんを助け出す判断を下すよう保護司の人に伝えてください。
I like the group effort.
よろしくお願いいたします。
It's like a Rena mock punch, but in the form of arguments being thrown at the worker. Some of us were getting emotional, but Mion calmed them down and Rena summed it up nicely. I stopped speaking to see what she was going to say next. She?
保護士さんではなく福祉士さんですね。お話はわかりました。聡子さんのお友達345人からその旨の訴えがあったことを児童福祉士に伝えます。
You think a sneaky Rika Meep might actually save this situation? She hasn't said anything.
引き続き慎重に対応してまいりますので、今後も何かございましたらお知らせいただければと思います。
I actually think this is one person. Because Keiichi told him a she. It's a little confusing.
どうか今後とも児童福祉にご協力いただければ幸いです。
本日は貴重なお話を
It's two people!
誠にありがとうございました。
Never mind, I don't know what's happening. But we got stonewalled so hard. And that's how the cookie crumbles. I guess my hope was misplaced. Well, that was an experience. Guess we're not breaking Rika's streak of depression this time. We were still in Otonomiya. We were in the city park, devoid of playing children, staring vacantly up at the madder red sky in silence.
なんだかこう、うまくあしらわれた感じがしてならないです。
かといって邪険にされたわけじゃないし、あの人は多分相談窓口の人で、さとこちゃんの件を直接担当してる人じゃないんだよ。
I mean, that's definitely true, right? He's not the social worker.
だ
You know
からあ
that.
あいう言い方になっちゃうんだよ。
It's very professional phrasing. You can respect that in a way. How would you deal with a situation with five children screaming at you? For good reasons, by the way, but to maintain that professional atmosphere, it's definitely a virtuous thing that I probably wouldn't have. I get annoyed pretty easily.
ミオはさっきのやりとりはどう見た？
なんだか大木を相手に相撲を取ったような感じだね。
It's a great way to put it.
押しても来ない、引いても来ない。
But we didn't move it either.
あれじゃあ壁に向かって独り言を言ったのと変わらないじゃないですか。
Stonewalled.
そんなことないよ。
I mean, he responded, but that's what stonewalling is. I don't actually know. I just know I've heard the term before, and it feels like it would fit this situation.
ちゃんと今日の話を伝えてくれるって言ってた。あの人は直接さとこちゃんのことを知らないから、私たちから見たら冷たい言い方になっちゃうんだよ。
That's true. That is true. It's not like he could really. He does. It would be better if he could talk to the social worker directly, and it made sense. The social workers. Actually, I'll scratch that. I don't want to say it. It's too much of a meme. We've had enough memes. Let's just continue on the story.
レナ的には今日の手応えはあったと思うか？
Well, let's just hope the social worker, the guy explains our complaints to the social worker, and the social worker puts that into consideration for the situation.
無駄だったとは思わないよ。でも本当の担当者の人には私たちの熱意は伝わらないだろうね。
It's still weird that the school is vouching for this abusive situation. You feel like that would be like almost enough of a pull to take it more seriously, but who
北条
knows?
聡子の友人5人が保護を求めて本日夕方陳情ありって程度には伝えてくれると思う。
保護士じゃなくて福祉士でしたっけ？その人に直接訴えることはできないんですか？
That would be better.
さあね。トラブルの多い職業らしいからね。直接の接触って難しいんじゃないの？
Sneak attack them.
紳士の対応をしてるうちに何とかしないと大変なことになるなんて脅迫しに来る人がいるくらいなんだからさ。
Huh. It's a weird translation. This feels like a weird session. The script, anyways. I don't know how. That just might be me tripping, but it does feel like it gives a weird feeling. this whole time. I think it goes with the idea that it's super passionate and he's probably like showing some real life situations or whatever, but it's kind of weird. Not in a bad way, just in a weird way. According to Mian, there's a lot of problematic clients who show up at the child consultation center. It's not a rare thing for them to get an aggressive visitor like Shion.
そういう
Oh, I
相手に熱意を
understand.
伝えるのって
I was
難し
honestly
い
kind
ね
of confused. Actually, I still don't know. Never mind.
熱意を感情的と履き違えれば履き違えるほど向こうは冷めた対応をするんだろうから。
Hey, that was my point. That's what I said.
ミオは天下の園崎家次期当主として役所の人とはだいぶ話してて話術にも長けてるんだろう。
She did flex that earlier.
俺なんかよりももっとうまく話せないのかよ。
お姉の話術じゃないです。お姉が園崎家のミヨンだから
Whoa.
相手が平服してくれるだけです。
That's such a low-key diss.
今日の対応見ましたよね。
It's a low blow.
お姉が園崎だと名乗ったらあんな狭い部屋じゃなくてきっと応接室で所長が対応してくれてますよ。
Mian gave a vague smile and didn't comment. Mian's greatest weapon is her family name. Without that weapon, she's just as ordinary as the rest of us. I shouldn't be thinking about this, but if the Sonozaki family forgave Satoko's family, it would be really easy for them to save her.
やはり園崎家は今でも北条家が嫌いなのですか？
Yep, sadly.
嫌いだって公言してる人はいないよ。
Well, yeah.
でも根深いみたいだね。というかばあさんが北条嫌いの筆頭ですし、頭の中いつまでダム戦争やってるってんですか。死守同盟が解散して何年経ってるんです。
しーちゃんやめなよ。さとこちゃんはさとこちゃんだよ。私たちの大切な仲間。名字が何かなんて関係ないよ。
Shion went quiet, and there was silence for a while. Rena was right. Just like how Satojo's last name doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what Mian's last name is either. The important thing is that our friend is being abused right now. We'd have to do everything we can to save her from that situation. We all looked up at the sky and listened to the sound of the cars passing by. We all felt hopeless. We had no idea what to do. Was what we did today going to help Satoko at all? It would have been better if they just kicked us out. That way we could have been angry with them. But after being treated politely like that, we had no choice but to back off and see what they were going to do. We were forced to just wait and see what happens. Everyone was trying to figure out what our next option was. I couldn't expect Shia-sensei to tell us that everything was taken care of at the Board of Education. That would be too good to be true.
次はどうしような。
I muttered to myself, hoping that someone would respond with a good idea, but the silence reminded me that everyone was just as stuck as me.
圭一、
リカちゃんか。すまん。あれだけでかい口を叩いて打つ手なしだ。
信じない。
As I looked at her, I realized that the expression on her face was stronger than ever.
昨日圭一がシオンに言った。今は思いつかないけどきっと最前提を思いつくから俺を信じろって言った。
He did say that.
だから私は信じた。だから圭一の口から打つ手がないなんて悲しい言葉が漏れるなんて信じない。
That sounds like a sad other voice Rika, which is extremely, I mean, it's not rare, but it seems like a verge of tears Rika. which is rare. It's also sad, but I also kind of love it. I could see tears in her eyes. Rita-chan was sure that I could do something about the situation.
ケイチが言った。運命なんて金魚すくいの網より薄く破ってやるって言った。私はそれを信じる。
It's really pulling on my heartstrings. It's a good voice. Getting some nice voice acting. I know it's a hard competition from last arc, but definitely great points on Rita. Rita actually had a couple of good instances of great voice acting in this arc.
今でも信じてる。だってあなたは運命なんかやすやす打ち破ってくれる人なんだもの。だから助けて。この運命から聡子助けて。
A tear rolled down the corner of her eye. My heart was feeling the same way. Damn it, damn it, damn it. An innocent girl was becoming a prisoner of a tragic fate. She desperately needed help. I told them they could trust me. In other words, they could count on me. That they could bet on me. Betting is not an easy thing. If I lost, they'd lose their coins too. What does it mean to trust someone? It's about making a bet on that person. It's about betting a coin. It's about betting hope. Trusting someone is tantamount. Keiichi, why are you bringing up the thesaurus right now? There's no way you're thinking that word. I'm calling it out like I see it. You are not thinking that word. What is it? Tantamount? I know my vocabulary isn't the best, but there's no way. What is this even? Equivalent and serious to, virtually the same as. The resignations were tantamount to an admission of guilt. So it's basically equivalent to.
Tantamount.
Tantamount. Who says that word, Keiichi? Don't pull that out on me. Okay, anyways, let's get back to this. I told Shion yesterday. I told her to trust me. I didn't say it just because. I knew that those words meant something very serious. But now, after betraying Rita-chan and seeing her tears, I finally realized just how serious it is. I looked at Shion. She was in a rage again. Mian tried to calm her down, but she didn't have any ideas either. How about Rena? She's always very reliable in a situation like this. I expected to see her strength. However, Rena also looked depressed. We didn't even know if what we did was a meaningful thing. Rena looked down with a devastated expression on her face, since she couldn't come up with another option either. Damn it, I have to do something for them. Rena's blue fire will melt iron. Mian can be strong when the wind is in our favor. Shion is the same way. They will move forward strongly when the wind is backing them up, but they grow weak when the wind is blowing against them. Despite the whole situation, Rita-chan still believes in us. She believes that we can do something if we all come together. That's right, we all agreed. We said to each other that we can make a miracle happen if we all work together. What am I? What am I? Anyone getting weird translation vibes? This whole part? It's a weird vibe. I could be overthinking it. It's kind of reading weird, especially maybe it's because I'm reading it out loud, but doesn't it sound a bit funky? If Rena is the blue fire, I'm the red fire. I burn brightly and give strength to everyone. That's right, I'm Keiichi Maibara. I'm the magician of words. I have to motivate everyone. The blue fire won't light up unless the red fire does too. When the fire is lit, there will be wind. Miana and Shion will become stronger too.
ありがとうな。リカちゃんが火打ち石を叩いてくれた。
It's the song, I think. Is this the song from last session? I don't remember.
そして俺という火が燃え上がってきたぜ。
Keiichi self-boosted himself like the awesome guy he is.
ケイチ
We can't give up now. We're members of the strongest club ever. Nothing can stop us when we get together.
この俺があの程度でへこむなんて情けないぜ。リカちゃんの言葉で目が覚めた。自分を信じろって言葉がどれだけ重いかってことを教えてもらったぜ。
Rita-chan knew our personalities well, and she figured out just who she should motivate first. Well, I'm really starting to burn up. Honestly, I thought Rita was giving up, but Keiichi's taking it as a intentional motivation.
おい、ミオ
Who knows who was right? I honestly thought she was just giving up, but whatever works.
いつまでしょぼくれてやがる。
Yeah.
ここは怒り狂うところだぜ。おい
Everyone looked at me with wide eyes as they turned at my powerful voice. They were both surprised by my sudden shout. And waiting in anticipation at the vigor of my call. Keiichi, what are you reading? More and more clearly I could see it. This was Keiichi Maibara's role in this club.
さっきの対応は客観的に見てまずは空振りだな。
Anyone uses vigor when they're thinking about stuff?
多分レナの言うようにクラスメートが5人来て陳情って程度のメモ書きで終わっちまうんだろう。だからああいう対応をしちまったら俺たちの怒りに火がついちまうぜ。
Yay!
確かに木で鼻をくくったような感じだったけど。
俺たちは
We're
サドコ
lit.
の緊急の危機を訴えてんだぞ。あの対応はねえだろ。ここは戦うとこだぞ。こんな公園で仲良くしょぼくれてる場合じゃねえ。
でもケイチ君、次に私たちは何をしたらいいんだろう。
へへへ。お前らまさかもうこの程度で晩作が尽きたとか思ってんじゃねえだろうな。お前らこれが部活なら全員ピリだぜ。へへへ。
Heh, this is fun. I was feeling depressed too, but now I've got a burning passion in my heart. I felt like I was cheering myself up. Why was I being so sad? If I wanted to save Satoto, I had no time to rest. This was the final seconds of the last round in a boxing match where we were at a disadvantage. If I stand there stupefied, I'll lose by indecision, so the only option is to press the attack. Was I supposed to give up just because I couldn't knock out the opponent with one punch? No. If I couldn't take him out in one, I'd have to throw 2 or 3 punches. I'd have to try until I could finally knock him out. That's what I was saying about the argument. You gotta hit him with... You can't just hit him with a haymaker. You gotta hit him with a couple of zingers, a couple flicker jabs, you know? Soften him up, make him all tender, and when he least expects it, hit him with a right straight, knock him out, wait for the count, but don't get too comfortable because he might come back up before the count reaches 10, you know? It's all about attrition, putting the damage on, and then finding your opportunities. Don't just go for the one-hitter quitter.
近いけどちょいと甘えな。
I don't know what I just said, but I think that sounded pretty good. Not gonna lie. It's called improvisation. It's a great skill to have.
何を考えてるんだか知らないけど
I honestly have no idea what Keiichi's thinking either, but that's what makes it exciting. Also, these
なんだかおじ
drums.
さんも面白そうな気がしてきたよ。
Exactly, Neon. I agree.
これで泣き寝入りなんて我がぶらしくもない。この程度の逆風跳ね返してみせなきゃね。
Yes, Mion is getting her willpower back too.
そうだね。圭一君の言う通りだよ。いじけてた自分が恥ずかしい。
Okay, I'm being serious here, and feel free to like disagree. But does this like scene, not even the whole child consultation stuff, doesn't this scene just feel like not well translated? Like it's by a different translator or something. I mean, I don't know. It just reads very weird. Like, imagine Renner saying, "I'm ashamed that I was." I mean, that's not as bad, but it's like, but it sounds very interesting. It isn't like our club to cry ourselves to sleep. We need to turn this headwind around. It sounds like weirdly like robotic and not well. But that could just be me. It has been like 3 or 4 days since I last read. But I mean, that shouldn't do anything. So I don't know, it's weird. Hopefully the next chapter does not have this a vibe. But it really makes me think like some random guy like was standing in to translate and he came up with this, because it's a weird vibe. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
戦おう。
でもケイちゃん、具体的にはどうしようってわけさ。
Also, I mean, I don't know Japanese. I think that's obvious, but I feel like they're not saying stuff. But that could just be I know they don't do that for like the subs normally at all. But like they skipped Mion's this old man stuff and stuff like that, which they usually do include. It's janky, dude. I can't contain myself. It feels weird.
みんなもちょいと思い出してみな。
It kind of takes away the scene a little bit for me.
あの相談員は俺たちに宣戦布告をしてくれやがったわけだが、多分意識しなかったんだろうけどな。墓穴を掘ってくれたもんだぜ。しかもそいつはどうやら俺の最も得意とする戦術になりそうだぜ。
Chapter break, I think we need it. Or chapter end, hopefully. Get a nice reset. Has the translator Carl called in sick? Why are we using Mr. Ben here? Let's get our normal guy back, because the other chapters did not feel like this at all. Even the session before this chapter break. Fire's burning deep within. I could be just weird. Maybe I'm just like, maybe my sense of writing is all messed up because of the AI dungeon thing, because I've been reading that for like a long time, like hours, and it's also incredibly janky. So I could actually just be messed up and it could be perfectly fine. But you know what? Let me know if you thought that felt a little more janky than usual. And if you didn't, put me down where just knock me out, hit me with the sucker punch. But let's read the tips first. 11:15. Read the tips, probably 11:25, maybe 10 minutes, 5 to 10. Take a shower, then read more Higurashi. I'm ready, honestly. Or something else. I need to read either Higurashi Rants or 999 to catch up, then I can start Corpse Party tomorrow again. Anyways, enough venting. Let's see what's happening in the hints. Receptionist note. Ooh, to the social worker, I think. No. Date, year. Subject about Satoto Hojo. Oh, no, this is, the lady that's sent it to, well, let's just see. Visitor Keiichi Maibara and 4 other friends. They are requesting protection for Satoto Hojo, sent to save her from being abused by her uncle. Already being dealt with? I'm cleaning out the refrigerator, so please remove your personal belongings by this evening. I think that's to the actual social worker, like the lady at the front desk. Yeah, the receptionist. Good meme. Honestly, it doesn't piss me off that much because I'm pretty sure a receptionist is just supposed to like inform what we're visiting for, which is what she did, but obviously it is a little annoying. The bank book frustration. Is Teppei poor? Teppei suspected that Satoko was hiding more money somewhere. I don't think she was. She's not really a money person. I thought Rita was giving her her allowance. But in reality, she had none at all. Teppei had asked her how she survived until now, but she told him that she didn't have to use any money because she was living with her friend. Yeah, that's what I thought. Teppei had made some money off illegal gambling. While he had some of that money saved up, he had no intention to use it on living expenses. However, there's no way Satoto didn't have the money. Teppei was convinced of that. Teppei's wife, Satoto's aunt, must have taken away the family bank book when Satoto's parents died in the accident. I feel like they would have used all the money by now. I mean, I guess it was only... Actually, no. It does make sense that they didn't use it all, because they've only lived with Satoto for like a year. But her aunt also died last year, and Satoshi is gone too. That means Satoto should have hidden the bank book somewhere. However, no matter how much she threatened her, she told him that she didn't know anything about it. I don't think we got any indication about that either. He continued to question Satoto, still believing that she was hiding it somewhere. He couldn't beat her because her teacher in the child consultation center would suspect him. So he wouldn't beat her. Instead, he spoke to her in a loud and violent voice and broke the furniture in front of her. Threatening people like that is Teppei's forte. I was trying to say, he is a master at it. However, Satoto continued to claim that she had no clue about the bank book. She didn't seem to be lying. After destroying the whole living room, leaving Satoto fighting like a scared little animal, Teppei finally believed that Satoto had no idea where the bank book was. In that case, where could it be? Teppei had two ideas. One was that his wife had hid it somewhere in secret. The other was that Satoshi took it after his wife's death and hid it somewhere else. Either way, he was certain that it was hidden somewhere in this house. He told Satoto to clean up the mess he made in the living room and started searching around the house. Good one. Teppei was starting to get bored with Satoto. He had heard that Satoto's parents had a lot of money saved up, but his wife had taken control of that money herself. Since his wife had been quite thrifty, he was sure that she left the bank book somewhere without using it. Once he got his hand on that money, he could move somewhere else entirely. Teppei was so antiquated with a few people from the gambling spot in Dodura. People he used to help out are still hanging around that area. They still owe him. They should at least let him crash there. It was great that Satoto takes care of all the chores around the house, but Teppei felt uncomfortable about being watched by both the school and the consultation center. Teppei, all too aware that he's a man of violence, couldn't stand living with Satoto without being violent towards her. The more he suffered, the stronger his urge to beat up Satoto grew. Since Teppei only knew the joy through forcing others who resisted to submit. Only knew joy. Testing to see how violent he could be before the helpless Satoto resisted him was something he was excited to try eventually. Still upset over the visitation by the school teacher, Teppei promised that he would destroy Satoto's life before leaving the village. Well, that's not good. I actually was thinking, this might be a positive. He just needs money and he would leave until they said the last part about destroying Satoto's life. So I don't think we can scare him away anymore. I think that's not a good plan. We need to get us to safety before we scare him away. Anyways, interesting chapter. Very, very interesting chapter. I still think it's a bit janky, but you know, at least this session, because I don't even think the first half was that janky. It's a weird time, but it was still fun, nevertheless, having that little argument with the social security guys, and I'm excited to hear what Keiichi's new plan is. I really don't know. Maybe it's one of the things I've said before. About spooking him out, you know, gathering evidence that you can submit, other stuff. But I guess we'll have to see next time. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you later. Goodbye.